Hello, my Biblio darlings, and welcome to Bibliothesia. In case we haven't met before, my name is Mally, and at Bibliothesia, I bring stories to life through my storytelling them and to sharing them with you. So the story which I'm going to read today is called Goblin Island. But before I do that, and let's give our bodies two tools in which it can learn to relax and be more mindful in the day. So those two exercises are going to be a 4-4-8 deep breathing exercise, and I'm going to share some really funny jokes with you. So let's start with a deep breathing exercise. Pretend you have a balloon inside your tummy, and as you inhale, you make that balloon bigger and bigger. So with that, let's inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's hold the breath for Now let's exhale out for 8. Oh, good job with the deep breathing exercise. And the whole purpose of the deep breathing exercise is it reminds our body that we are safe right here and now. Another way that we can help our bodies relax is through joke telling. I'm going to reach over and pick up my joke book. So here are 3 knock-knock jokes for you. Here's the first one. Knock, knock. Who's there? Pasture. Pasture who? Past your bedtime. Go to bed. Get it? Past your bedtime? Okay. Here's the second joke. Knock, knock. Who's there? Pecan. Pecan who? Pecan someone your own size. Get it? Pick on someone your own size? That's so great. And here's a third and final knock joke before the story. Knock, knock. Who's there? Paris. Paris who? Paris my favorite fruit. Pear is my favorite fruit. Okay. So let's read today's story called Goblin Island. And this is what I see with a beautiful picture. I see a winged horse, and on the winged horse are some men, and it looks like there's some sun coming in from behind, and there's clouds in the background and stars and a bird. It looks like down below there's an island, and there's some women, 2 women on the island with red dresses. It looks like there's water or ocean all around, and it looks like there's a ship that's by the island, and it looks like there's a little bird by the ship. So let's read Goblin Island. Relax, be very still, and listen. Listen carefully to this tale about a crew of adventurous sailors who got caught in a ferocious storm. Do you want to know what happened? Let's see if we can find out. Now, one day, as the sailors' ship was bobbing up and down in the breeze, a great black storm cloud sprang out of the blue sky and whipped the sea into a frothing rage. Their boat was rocked to and fro for hours till it crashed into some rocks. I'm wondering if those rocks is where the boat is in the picture. There it lay until the storm finally passed, and when the dazed sailors looked around them, they found themselves on a beautiful beach of glistening sand, fringed with lush palm trees. They couldn't believe their luck. It looked like paradise. Then, out of nowhere, appeared a group of beautiful women, carrying baskets of delicious fruits and new clothes, and inviting them to stay in their huts. And so it was that, for days on end, the sailors were treated like kings by these women, being fed one scrumptious or delicious meal after another. It all seemed too good to be true, so much so that they forgot all about their normal lives and their families and friends waiting at home. After several days, a sailor asked one of the women why there were no men on the island. She replied that they had sailed away many years ago and never returned. That night the same sailor heard voices as he crept from his bed to the next hut and listened at the door. "We need to fatten them up and eat them before they escape," said a woman's voice. Peeping through a crack in the door, the sailor saw To his astonishment, or surprise, a group of ugly goblins instead of the beautiful women he had expected. "We've been tricked," he gasped. "They're not women, but goblins in disguise. And they're feeding us up so we're juicy to eat." In the morning he told his fellow sailors what he'd seen and heard. When they realized they'd been deceived, they were all terribly frightened. All that is, except for one big strong sailor. "You must have been dreaming," he insisted. "These beautiful women can't possibly be goblins. I'm not leaving." Well, he stomped off back to the huts. The others fell to their knees and begged the gods of the happy lands to help them. One of the gods, who had been watching all along, was pleased they had realized their mistake and decided to help them. In a flash, he changed himself into a magnificent winged silver horse and flew to the island. The grateful sailors climbed onto his back, sadly leaving behind their stubborn shipmate, who still didn't believe the truth. However, just as the great horse began to spread his wings, they were overjoyed to see the last sailor come sprinting after them and clamber gratefully onto the horse's back. "I saw goblins heating the pot to cook us in," he splurted. "I'm sorry I wouldn't listen. I just didn't want to believe it." And his last words were whisked away by the wind as the horse flew effortlessly up into the sky to safety, until Goblin Island was just a tiny speck in the great blue ocean. So what is the lesson or moral here? It can be tempting to ignore the facts when we wish that they were different. A wise person knows the importance of facing up to the truth, and they tackle every challenge head on. What did you think of Goblin Island? I thought, wow, what a story. And I thought, how many times have we been in something, in a situation that's kind of similar? And have we listened to words of wisdom? All really neat things to think about. And now that the story has wrapped up, let's do a second deep breathing exercise. Are you ready? Okay. Let's inhale deeply for 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's hold the breath for And now let's exhale out for 8. So, for some people, they relax by the deep breathing, and sometimes afterwards you might yawn or burp. And here's another deep breathing exercise. Are you ready? Well, it's not really deep breathing exercise, but it's a way of calming our body down. It's really simple. Take your hands and interlace them and stretch it in front of you. And now go off to one side. And now go off to the other side. Stretch to the other side. Now bring it back to center and all the way up and look up. And now bring the hands down. So that is also putting movement in our body. And when we move our body, whether that be through stretching or yawning or deep breathing, it lets our body know that we are safe right here and now. And you have this at your control all the time. You have this. It's a superpower that you have. So with that, let me lean over and bring over the joke book. Knock, knock. Who's there? Panther. Panther who? Panther, what you wear on your legs. Oh, Panther, pants are what you wear on your legs. Panther. Okay, pants are. Here's a second joke. Knock, knock. Who's there? Omar. Omar who? Omar, goodness, I have the wrong door. Like, oh my goodness. And here's the third joke. Knock, knock. Who's there? Passion. Passion who? Passion through, and just thought I'd say hello. Get it? Like passing through? Okay, well, with that, we've come to the end of our time together. Thank you so much for joining in on the storytelling of, the storytelling today of Goblin Island. And thank you so much for taking part in the jokes and the deep breathing. And remember to click on the subscribe button and then to hit the notification bell so you can be notified when there's new episodes. Well, it's been wonderful spending time with you. And until next time, bye!